Network for the strong, not the weak.
No escaping this. 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 No escaping this.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping.
No one's ready to deal with us.
What the hell? Got a balance. That's what's called technical difficulties. I apologize for the mistake. Thank you for tuning in. This is your man HRap coming at you live and direct on Built for This Network on Spreaker.com as well as on YouTube Live. The End of the Bench podcast, Build and Destroy, where I do my very best to build up the community, destroy the lies and the propaganda. Thank you for dealing with this technical difficulties. It sucks to be me right now. Now, thank you again for tuning in. I have a lot. You know what? Today's show might even be short. I always say that, and then it end up being the right size. But it is what it is. It ain't what it used to be. Let's get this show on the road. Now. And then guess what? If you listen to the Spreaker.com side, after the show, you'll hear me go, damn. You know, so, and you can laugh at me for a little while. With that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in. It's going to be an interesting show. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. As usual, I got a lot on my plate, but I think it's going to be a short show. Hopefully not. As usual, I want to thank my family members, the family members who made it possible for me to be here. That's all my ancestors and my living family. That's everybody connected to the Whitmore, Pollard, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Bailey, Harper, Shaw, Thompson, Chris, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and you know me, my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, my aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, and everybody else. We the Williams clan, we in the building. How now, brown cow? Now, you already know this is a podcast. And why do I announce that? Because you can catch this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you have to do is go to Spreaker.com, hit subscribe, and you will get an email every time somebody on Spreaker comes live. And you can listen to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Spreaker.com, on Built for This Network, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, or wherever you download your podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Or you can go to the YouTube page. The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH. And you can look up The End of the Bench, hosted by HRap, and you will get me in all my glory. I need you, if you're looking at this on YouTube, which most of you are, I need you to hit that like button. Like. And guess what? I'm sick of B sending me these damn notifications. Well, if you're sick of B sending you those damn notifications, all you have to do is hit that notification bell and then text me. Man, I got it already. Stop bugging me. And then I'll stop bugging you. And then that's one less headache you have. Now, with that being said, I'm going to address my chat room I got the number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern. I got my main man Patar. I got Big Illinois who came in 30,000 years early, talking about I was the first. Yeah, he was the first because he showed up at 2:30. No, I'm just joking. Shout out to Big Illinois. I got my main man Rated Kev in the building. I have DJ Mad Knox, the show killer. He's in the building, dopest DJ in the universe. And I got my home girl since 1985. Sabrina Looney is in the building. Thank you for tuning in. It's really good to see everybody in here. Let's go. Now, with that being said, feel free to comment, leave a comment, say what you got to say. I disagree, I agree. You the coolest dude in the world. And there it is. And then you can keep doing, you can really say that coolest dude in the world thing. But, and I got my girl Courtney in the building. Courtney Harper's in the building. For those who don't know, that's my niece. So all you weirdos that's looking at her profile, back up. I don't care if she's 40. I got Rob Orr in the building. Now, man, this has, look, Mobb Deep, almost, maybe 28 years ago, had this song called, they started the song off, it's a war going on outside, nobody's safe. And it seems as if, just a second, I'm back. It seems as if it's a war going. What? It seems as if people are making it nothing but clear that there is a war going on outside against us. You have people doing their very best to destroy everything that's about us. They covering up the things that they've done to us, and then they want you to be an upstanding citizen and a patriot. And that's just not gonna happen. That shouldn't happen. It happens. People buy into it. And I understand you were born here. You bought into the propaganda about being an American. But actually, you're not an American. You're a citizen of the United States. Canadians are Americans because they live on North America. Central Americans are Americans because they live in Central America. Brazilians are American. You're a citizen of the United States, first and foremost. So that shows you some of the stuff that you've been fed. I got my girl Tiki in the building. Thank you, Tiki. It's always good to see you. It shows you that the things that you've purchased and inculcated into your lifestyle are a little more than propaganda. Now, is this the worst place in the world? And we can go, you know what, I can take you to the jungles of the Yucatan and where the Aztecs used to be, and they're down there starving, or I could take you to Cambodia, or yes, indeed. There are places that are far worse than America, but we can't ignore the tyranny that we face because somebody's living in a worse situation. It is literally when you tell me to compare what I'm dealing with to what somebody else is dealing with in the worst situation. That's like asking me not to be in pain if I have a migraine because, hey, yo, HRap, you really shouldn't be talking about that headache that you have, that migraine headache that feel like somebody driving a nail through your head because there's people out there with cancer. That don't make my head stop hurting. I have empathy for them, but I'm in pain currently. And that's what I'm talking about. We live in these United States of America. And our ancestors built it, and people treat us as if we're inhuman. You have empathy and sympathy for every other culture in the country that has been mistreated, but not for us. Other cultures, you want to tell me about this culture and that culture, and this is horrific. And then when it comes to addressing my pain, my anguish, and my dismay, people go, you should get over it. Or you have lawmakers attempting to pretend that these things didn't even happen. That's where I'm gonna start today. You have lawmakers that don't want to address your pain. So that's why I made the statement about that Mobb Deep song. It's a war going on outside. Because anytime, Just Joe is in the building. Much love, my brother. Anytime people don't want to acknowledge what you've gone through, they're not an ally. They're an adversary. They are an adversary. I'm not telling you to hate anybody because it's beyond me to hate. I don't hate you. I won't deal with you. Or I will only deal with you when it's advantageous to me. And that's the mentality that my community, the Nubian community, should take on. I honestly feel that way. We need to be in a situation in which the people who don't have empathy for us, in the event that we have to do business with them, that's cool. But we're not going to deal with you on a personal level. I don't want anything from you outside of the goods that you present to me and the wares if I have to do work or what have you, it's going to be an exchange and then it's going to be a separation. People, when I say that, people go, hey, well, wait a minute. It's not everybody, but it's enough people. It's enough. See, anytime, like, here's the thing. When you hear people from my community, when they hear other people's pain and anguish, let's say the LGBTQ community, when you hear someone say something disparaging about the LGBTQ community, even though that isn't a direct tribe, because when you listen to Pan-Africanist Dr. John Henry Clark, he will let you know there's only one race. That's the human race, right? So let's just talk about the tribe. Even though the LGBTQ only is a mixture, a mishmash of all the tribes on the planet, when we're talking about struggle, we'll bring them in. When we talk about struggle, we go black and brown. And then we'll inculcate white women. And we'll inculcate disenfranchised white people. And we'll inculcate the Asian community. We'll inculcate the Latino community. Now, on a regular basis, I don't hear everybody including us. Because if it did, we wouldn't be struggling for what's right. And that's the problem. So, I do believe it's time, brothers and sisters, for us to take on, because it's fashionable in our community to make this statement. We need to be like them because, see, they got their act together. And then when you go talk to them, they think we got our act together. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to one up. We're not going to do this one-upsmanship thing today. But if we're gonna keep using that trope, let's use it. And let's take on those characteristics. The reason I want to take on those characteristics, let's just use our Asian brothers and sisters. In every major city in the United States of America, even the smaller cities, the Detroits, the Clevelands, the Richmond, Virginias, there's a Chinatown in that town. You go right outside of D.C., it's a Koreatown, it's an Asian town. And those people, they stick to their principles and they circle the wagons and they make sure each other's okay. When you listen to a great brother like Dr. Claude Anderson, he's an elder. He said this 13 years ago. Dr. Claude Anderson said the Asian community takes care of the Asian community by creating things that they need. He said they're the number one user of soy sauce and they're the number one producer of soy sauce. They're the number one user of noodles and they're the number one producer of noodles. At that point, he had discovered we were the number one consumers of fish. So he was saying we need to corner the market on fish. He attempted to do it. He became a millionaire and things. I don't know what happened, but he ended up selling the company. And I can't really get upset with him because he didn't get a lot of backing when he did that. But we need to do that. Los Angeles, California has an area called Africa Town. There's an Africa Town in Alabama. We need to create these spaces throughout the country for ourselves. We need to reestablish us. We need to go. When you have people in Congress trying to revert voting laws back to the 1850s, as I stated on my last show, we need to take on the 1850 mentality. See, we already know that people in the government will not be supporting us. We know that. We know that. If you used to hear my show, if you're new to the show, I used to rail against voting, right? I no longer do that, but I feel the same way. You got over 40 states, over 35 states trying to redo the voting acts that were put in place 1965 and a bunch of other times, according to the United States Constitution, a contract that's being violated on a regular basis. They want to revert to the inability for black men and women to vote. You have terrorist threats going on. You got white men jumping up in our sisters' faces, waving the Confederate flags, making death threats. He has a warrant for his arrest in Tennessee, and Mississippi won't extradite him. See, again, we are in a situation to whereas the United States federal government isn't doing what they're supposed to do. Shout out to Joe Biden and shout out to Kamala Harris. Pearls and Chucks. Way to go. So what we have to do is do like we did 158 years ago. Realize we're up against it and create pockets and a circle to protect ourselves. I don't want to hear, hey man, you have your own opinion. I understand it. See it the way you want to see it. I'm not going to debate with anybody else ever again in regards to this. I'm not going to try to enlighten you. Like if you disagree, hey man, God bless you. Because I'm looking at the reality and you looking at what could be. The reality of the situation, as I said a month ago, I was bamboozled by hating the police for years. And, anybody who's watched my show, my relationship with the police is not very well. I've been accosted. I've been hit. I've been harassed, lost family members, so forth and so on. So me and the police don't have a great relationship. But in order to make things work, since we always use that trope, we need to be more like them. Guess what? The Italians and the Irish 100 years ago and the Jewish people, they were being harassed by the police. Guess what happened? They started joining the police force. Slow down on it. See, what we have to do is, and I'll stick to my guns. I'm going to revert as well as evolve. I don't believe in the voting system as of right now. That's a regression. But I'm circling the wagons and realizing the reason I don't agree with it is because we don't have enough people who have our specific interests in mind. See, a lot of people say, hey, vote for Joe Biden and vote for this guy and vote for that guy. And that sounds good, because he was better than the boogeyman. But we saw this week a lot of them are the boogeyman. See, it's easy to say, I'll help you when you have nothing to lose. It is. It's easy to say, I'll help you when you have nothing to lose. When you assume that the community that you're telling people that you're going to help have no follow through. But what we're going to do, and we all going to do a little bit and then create a lot. No more expecting these other men to help and women to help us. If you are not, and then this is something else I want to remind us. Let's no longer remind them, well, what about us? See, because if you have to remind somebody, shout out to my man Truck D on the Spreaker side. Thank you, Truck. If you have to remind someone that you're important, you're not important. Because you don't have to remind your wife or your husband or your significant other that you exist, because they know you exist. You're important to them. You don't have to remind your kids, your friends, your homies, whatever. You don't have to remind them. So if people are thinking about you after, or if you have to say, what about me? They've already X'd you out. If you have to, Joe Biden did all this for the black community. This community, he didn't do it for us. First of all, that's a misnomer. They've done a few things for us, but they haven't done the right things for us. And the Voting Rights Act and the anti-lynching bill that's been on the table for God knows how long. I'm 50, and it went on the table when I was a teenager. I'll be 51 in about 8 weeks, and it went on the table when I was a teenager. Nobody's doing that. Has there been some benefits? Yes, there have been benefits. But guess what? Our great brother, our ancestor, our elder, Malcolm X said, if it's a knife 9 inches into your back and you pull it out your back 7 inches, that's not improvement. It's still a knife in your back. As the great Dr. Henry Clark said, if you start your history with slavery, everything after slavery is going to be an improvement. The reason I bring up these two things is it sounds good to say what you do and don't have, and it used to be this and it used to be that, but we are still in the same situation. We're still in the same situation. 1865, the war ends. They create what's called the black codes. You cannot congregate with more than three or more black people without a white person being present. Now they call it mob action. Loitering was a law created then because if you don't have a job, you're going to go to jail. Why would I hire you to do something that I used to get you to do for free? But then I could put you in jail for loitering and then rent you out by the police. See the things that these things are happening to us, and we act as if we don't understand what's going on. The laws in Georgia, the laws in Arizona, they keep talking about doing these recounts and things of that nature because those mongrels couldn't have gone out to vote. That's a real nice way of saying it. They want to pass laws that you can't tell the truth to our children. This is why we need to, again, go back to the way we were doing it 150 years ago when we were talking to our youngins. We were writing subscribing everything and passing our information down. You need to be getting rid. No more Kindle and tablet. You need to have a series of books at your house so you can introduce. I don't know about y'all. We used to have a black book at my house. My grandmother's house at 1655. My great-grandmother, my grandmother's house. 1655 West Hastings, where my grandmother lived. It was called a black book. And it had history in that book. We need to find out who published that book. Sankofa is a bookstore in DC. Look into it. Sankofa is a bookstore in DC. Look into it. And we need to get that book republished because nowhere in hell, as long as I'm living, you're not going to be able to sweep my history under the ground, under the rug. And nobody, oh, well, white people feel better. We feel bad. They literally are creating laws to say you can't teach something that is offensive to white people. So basically, isn't that offensive to me? If I have been raped, I've been stolen, my humanity has been partially stripped, I have been raped, my children have been sold, my wife has been raped and sold, and I have been demasculated. And you don't want, and then you tell me everybody needs talk therapy, but you don't want me to talk about things that are embedded in me and causing me agony, stress, and tyranny to this very day. But you want to erase that. I thought you were supposed to face your stresses and your trauma. But that only counts when we don't have to pay. See, they are tying this into money and reparations, and we are using it as a springboard to say, hey, we've been through this. We've been through worse, and we're going to be okay. Do we want our check, to quote the great ancestor, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? You're right. We want our check. But you know what? Everything in me is going to help rebuild communities throughout the United States of America. And now we're not going, what we're going to do this time is we're going to create a security force around our communities. We're going to have police that look like us in our communities. And then when you show up to riot and do your thing, and you pull that stuff you pulled in D.C., tell God I said hi, or reunited with your father, the Prince of Darkness. Either way you want to look at it, that's what time it is in my community. See, a lot of people talk about their friends and that are from other cultures, and we do have allies from other cultures. This guy, he's a military general, and he was about to represent for our community big time last week, Monday, Memorial Day. Because as I stated last week, I don't know if a lot of y'all know, the very first Memorial Day was May 1st, 1965, in which over 10,000 Africans held a parade. They went and dug up our ancestors that were in a big giant group. What do they call it? A group grave. I can't think of the word right now. A mass grave. They dug those ancestors up and gave them proper burials. There were over 3,000 children celebrating, sending our people off the right way. That was the first Memorial Day. And then in 1868, it's Memorial Day on the 31st of May. He was at the podium talking about that, celebrating us. And a white woman, cut his mic off and said, we ain't come here to hear that. So again, anything uplifting us mentally, spiritually, emotionally, we don't want no pause of because we need them to be in that place. See, everybody always, well, why don't you stop trying to see the bright side, or stop trying to make excuses for your pain and your suffering, and realize, yes, remember that we're going to take that, and again, we right here. And if our ancestors do that, fresh off that Civil War, 10,000 of them can dig up our ancestors and give them a proper send-off, how can we be held back now? If you could burn down Wilmington, North Carolina, and assassinate our brothers and sisters and walk through the trains at gunpoint and say, you better not come back, and you could burn down Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, and Pine, and you can go down to Africatown and put feces in there recently, and you can go up to Flint and give them trash water, and you can come to the south side of Chicago and destroy Bronzeville and put an interstate, or you can go to Liberty City, Florida, and put an interstate there, or you can go to Los Angeles, California. These are things over and over again, and look at us, we're still here. We're still here. And if you can shoot Stokely Carmichael, you can shoot Dr. King, and you can have one of our brothers shoot Malcolm X, and you can probably, I'm on the conspiracy side of the game, and you could probably poison our brother Khalid Muhammad. I don't know how a brother who don't eat no pork, who's in good shape, had a stroke and died. But hey, that's neither here nor there. In all these situations, you can destroy. You can send a drug dealer to kill Huey P. Newton, probably let him sell some more dope because Huey was out there preaching against it. You can have all our brothers and sisters killed in jail. Mumia Abdul-Jamal, our sister Sada Shakur, on the run for something you and everybody else in the world know you ain't do. You can lock up my brother Geronimo Pratt from 1972 to 1995. You can do all these things to intimidate us, and look, we still here. You got HRap B, salute to the original HRap Browns in the pillar. He had an aneurysm. Saying, hey, my dad died from the same thing. But it's just kind of strange. Those things are usually brought on by stress and poor diet and or a blow to the head. And I don't think our brother Dr. Muhammad had any of those. But that's a conspiracy. That's something I pulled right clean out of my butt. But I always thought about it since the day he transitioned to be an ancestor. Salute to the ancestor. But we still here. We still stand strong. We got people like Queen Mother Karen Hunter Queen, Baba Dr. Cobb, Baba, Joe Madison, Brother Clay Kane, and others out here doing the work. And we ain't afraid. We're not afraid of anybody, but it's just those people get destroyed and it intimidates people to stand up. And that's when you start inculcating yourself into the American diaspora. See, me personally, I always been saying, if you know me more than 10 years, you've been hearing me say this since the 90s. They used Dr. King's dream against us like a pit bull. Dr. King said we have the right. He wanted the right to do certain things. And then they gave us those rights and they knew we would flock over that. We ain't have to. I got the right to carry a gun. Don't mean I'm going to go buy one. I just got the right to carry one. Even though everybody who listening to this that looks like me in the United States of America need to be going to get an FOID card and then go get them a firearm, protect themselves in the event that some of those insurrectionists are in your town and they want to destroy you. You need to introduce them to the Creator, face to the Lord, ass to the earth. But when you got a brother, the white gentleman, he was an elder trying to speak up on uplifting our people, and they cut his mic off. That lets you know that the lady at your job who you think you cool, the dude at your job you think you cool, y'all go have drinks, they not who you think they are. I could think of this one dude, I'm not gonna say his name, but because if he's listening, he gonna remember. I say his name. His name is Robert Larson. He's a white guy, real cool white guy I used to work with. He gave every impression that he was an ally. He never varied from it. But his girlfriend at the time, she used to pretend she was an ally up until they broke up, and she found out he went on a date with a black girl, and she said, "I'm not gonna kiss you because you kissed a black person." And then I saw her shortly thereafter, and she was like, "Hey, what's up?" And, trying to be my friend, but she didn't know that he told me. See, these are things that we continue to ignore, and it's more people like that lady Audrey than it is people like Bob. But we make excuses for the Audreys. She was emotional. No. She was angry and told the truth. A lot of us who listen to the show listen to sports. You see Shannon Sharp, drunk people, kids, and angry people speak the truth. She was angry. She spoke the truth. How could I touch you and you touched a black person? And how about this? Oh, Audrey was Jewish. So she understands discrimination. She understands oppression, and she had no problem doing it. And this is what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. Yeah, the elderly gentleman, Bob Larson, they are allies, but there are literally thousands of other people that pretend every day, and they smile, and they like your Uber driver. They get in your car and want to call you brother with the A, and they want to listen to the music and tell you about the music so they can be familiar. I don't need you to be my friend. Just get in the car and hit your seatbelt on. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm talking to you and telling you, like I told you, I don't believe in the voting process. I do it now. At first I was like, let me tell you something. The first time I voted for George H.W. Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, the one that croaked recently. Because I read the program and they were saying stuff that made sense. But humanity stepped in and they became greedy liars and attempted terrorists in our community. Then I found out he was part of the drug situation and he was part of mass incarceration, and your president was the leader of mass incarceration. And, then I just stepped out. Then your boy William Jefferson Clinton, y'all call him Bill, he stepped in and everybody was in love with him. They were like, he black because he smoked weed. Hey, y'all, when I was coming up, smoking weed was kind of like affiliated with white folks because they were stoners and Cheech and Chong and all that. So how did it become a black thing? Yeah, do black people smoke weed? Hell yeah. I got my man D-Grade in the building, fresh out of L.A. But I'm just saying, man, everybody fell in love with Bill Clinton, but he was pandering to our community by playing the saxophone on our brother Arsenio Hall show. Shout out to Arsenio Hall, man. Having the Minister Farrakhan on, knowing he was going to lose his job. Salute to him anyway, man, for having the courage to do what you want to do. It's my show. I can have who on here. This dude is not a hate monger. That's what y'all created. But it's this dude, Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat. And he don't want to vote for civil rights. He don't want to shoot down these laws that allow you to vote and allow the government to be governed by the people, allowing the people to choose their leader, not the leader to choose their electorates. Exactly, J. Ron. Cheech and Chong. White guy and a Mexican guy. But for whatever reason, that's neither, whatever. But Joe Manchin, he's a Democrat, and he says, unless these are bipartisan laws, I'm going to let these voting things go through. I'm not going to sign up with something that's going to give everybody the ability to vote. That's not American. It needs to be more bipartisan. Now, where was Joe Manchin at when the previous president was doing whatever the hell he wanted to do? What was he? Was he speaking out then? No, he wasn't. And he's a Democrat. This is why I keep telling y'all that D and that R don't mean a damn thing. Remember, the Democrats created the Ku Klux Klan. The Republicans realized that black people knew how to fight and put them in play for that war so they can help us win. So, look, man, until you show me your racist friend that you hang out with and drink with and is diametrically opposed to everything you believe in, how the hell can Democrats and Republicans be friends? Because I don't know if you listening to my show or watching my show on a regular basis, I can pretty much guarantee you don't have racist friends. I'm just saying. I got Black Swan in the building. I think my man Truck D said something. I'd rather you show me who you really are. Thank you, Truck D. Thank you, brother. Exactly. Show me who you really are. Because I don't understand how you could be friends and have to reach across the aisle to a bigot. Because he's my buddy and we golf together, but he's a bigot. No, I don't do that. If you hate Latinos, I ain't rocking with you because it's only a matter of time before you use that magic N-word with me. If you hate Jews, that word coming right behind that word you use for Jews. You know, it's only either going to be that flying object or that Spanish people in charge, you're going to throw at one of them. So if you got the boss hate them, you probably hate me too. So I'm not rocking with nobody who got hating me hard. So how can you tell me that you're for me, but you hanging out with people who are against me? No, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. If we all hate disrespect, discrimination, tyranny, and inequality, we can be friends. But the moment you say, well, I could want to smack a woman there once in a while, I could beat kids there. No, I can't rock with you, homie. We're not gonna pick and choose on righteousness. But that's what they do, and they want you to believe in it. So up until and including the moment, we created our own candidates. I got my man RC feeling better from what I heard on my man Rated for Life show Sunday. Good to see you back in good health and good to see you back on the show, RC. It's always good to see you, good brother. But up until we start putting our own people in play, we're just going to have to do what we got to do to survive and thrive. We are going to, brothers and sisters, we're going to have to create our own communities. There is no other way around it, man. There is no other way around it. We cannot be nice about it. It's no other way. You got to get your allies. First and foremost, we must create the community of our own. We must start shopping on our own. We must, like yesterday should have been the first day of Black Appreciation. Y'all told y'all the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th of the month is Black Appreciation Days. But we're going to only shop with each other, and we're going to try to expand that. We need to get together with some church organizations or some spiritual organizations or somebody so we can get a GoFundMe in our cities and states so we can get $8, $10, $12 million so we can buy a bus a city block or a failing suburb, Harvey, Midlothian, Dalton, and we can move our community into that and have businesses out there. And just we go out there, get our goods, get in contact with the Black farmers. I got a sister coming on real soon who, like I said, we're going to start hating the police because we're going to get in there too. We're going to start hating the military because we're going to get in there too. And the sister has the attention of all the police captains in her county that are Black, and she getting them together to young Black people, and they having a Zoom meeting. And they are getting the hardest questions possible. Asking them, she gonna come on. She from Chicago, but she living down there in Florida right now. See, we're gonna attack this from every angle. Like the homie Killer Mike said, if all of us do a little, Nobody has to do a lot, but we have to start. What we need to do is get behind the brothers and sisters in Africatown, Los Angeles, and Africatown, Alabama, and get behind them. It is and support them. Something else we gonna have to do is get behind this petition. I'm gonna post it on Facebook. I need y'all to sign this damn petition because it's a petition to get rid of. I got DJ Joe, thank you. I got DJ Ramal, thank you. It's always good to see you, good brothers. Thank y'all, brothers, supporting on the Spreaker side. I need y'all. I'm gonna post this today. Do y'all understand? Yesterday was a holiday in the state of Alabama. It was Jefferson Davis Day. It was Jefferson Davis Day, and it wasn't J.D. Hall from the Deuce of Hazzard. Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate. He has a holiday. He has a holiday in Tennessee. It's a petition out there. We need to sign it to get rid of that. There's also coming up a Robert E. Lee Day. And see, this is why I keep telling y'all, the voting thing don't really work until we get into play. And when we get into play, then it can start working because, you know, if you ask the average black American, what's up with Jimmy Carter? The average black American would like Jimmy Carter. But Jimmy Carter reinstated Jefferson Davis as a citizen of the United States of America. So now he has honors. A dude who fought tooth and nail to enslave your ancestors. Again, the voting thing don't work because these people are not on our side. But you know, you got Jimmy Carter. He'll stand up and tell everybody and their mom and their sister that he's a humanitarian. And he one of the good ones. He one of the good ones. If you don't believe me, end of the show, call anybody in your family that's old enough to remember him and to say, what did you think about Jimmy Carter? It might be one of your family members to go, hey, he did that Robert E. Lee thing. But if you're in the North and ask somebody, they're going to say he was a decent president, but you ain't know that he reinstated a enslaver, a general to keep the oppression turned on high. But Jimmy Carter was cool. Jimmy Carter was cool. We can no longer do this, y'all. We must start deprogramming ourselves. You are African first. And one day, once you get all your voting rights and all that in place, then we can talk about being an American. But as of now, no more of that American stuff. No more of that. You're a citizen of the United States. Do not, I can quote dozens of our ancestors that said that, and people looked at them as like they were crazy, but we must start the unwashing of our brains. If you got beef with somebody that hasn't attempted to hurt you, I'm going to need you to leave that beef where it is. I'm not asking you to be friends with that person because I'm not. But you need to create some form of peace with that person because they may be able to help the ultimate goal. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not asking you to put your reputation, your honor, your pride, your respect. I'm not asking you to subjugate that. What I'm asking you to do is create enough peace to improve your community. Because if not, these people have us exactly where they want us. Angry at each other about some nonsense. You argue with somebody about who they pray to, you ain't nothing but a fake anti-Jesus gangbanger. That you know more than that. Oh, well, you believing in that? That's stupid. For you. Don't tell me what's good for me. I won't tell you what's good for you. Now, if you choose not to believe, that's on that person. And that person does respect him. Guess what? I can't eat shrimp. I don't eat pork. I don't eat liver. You gonna diss me for that? That's different. So if you respect man, this dude named Premium P, man. Just follow the Premium P rules. penitentiary rules are in effect. Respect everything and everybody around you. As we get to this deprogramming portion, what I want y'all to understand is we have to stop disgracing ourselves. It's been a video circulating on on social media with in my damn city, 3 sisters on the hood, on the windshield, and maybe 3 or 4 sisters on the hood, the windshield, and on the roof of a police car twerking. Sisters, young sisters, represent yourself better than that. You're better than booty shaking. You're better than all that. Y'all all know that I do something about history in the middle of every show, and it's to increase the pride. What I'm doing by showing these things is showing you that no matter what somebody says and what somebody does to us, they can't stop us. And if use these videos as a source of pride and upliftment, and as you're getting tired, as you on your mission, or you helping somebody with their mission, remember this.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel. Junius George Groves was an American farmer and entrepreneur, remembered as one of the wealthiest Black Americans of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Known as the Potato King of the world by 1902, Groves optimized potato growth methods, outproducing anyone else in the world up to that point. His vast financial success, analyzed further in Booker T. Washington's The Negro in Business, was utilized to help combat racism by providing economic opportunities for other Black Americans. Junius George Groves, the son of Martin and Mary Anderson Groves, was born in slavery on April 12, 1859 in Greene County, Kentucky. After emancipation, he received some public schooling 3 months out of the year, but taught himself to read, write, and understand mathematics.
This is yet another example of an amazing person who did not let the institution of slavery stop him from achieving his goals.
As a freed man with just 90 cents to his name, Groves ventured to Edwardville, Kansas, during the Exodus of 1879, where he married Matilda E. Stewart a year later. The couple had 14 children, which was not uncommon at the time.
It bears repeating, just 90 cents to his name, ladies and gentlemen. 90 cents. Nothing can stop the power of a made-up mind.
After working as a sharecropper, Groves began purchasing farmland in 1884. By 1905, his holdings included about 500 acres. He and Matilda grew the farm and were able to build a 22-room mansion on the property. Groves purchased and shipped produced most famously potatoes throughout North America. His other financial ventures included owning and operating a general goods store in Edwardsville, stock and mines in Indian Territory and New Mexico, and stock in Kansas banks. He also founded or co-founded the Negro Business League, the Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, the Kaw Valley Potato Association, and the Sunflower State Agricultural Association. Booker T. Washington, who featured Groves in his book, The Negro in Business, 1907, had high praise for him, describing Groves as our most successful Negro farmer. High praise. By 1902, Groves was considered the potato king of the world. His superior methods led to the production of 721,500 bushels of the crop in a single year. outproducing anyone else in the world to that point. His worth was estimated at $80,000 in 1904 and at $300,000 in 1915. He is considered one of the most prosperous black Americans of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. At the height of his success, he had constructed a 22-room mansion equipped with the latest comforts of the era.
Julius G. Grove was known as the Potato King, not just of Kansas, not just of the United States, but the Potato King of the world. He produced more potatoes than anyone else in the entire world. This little-known entrepreneur, known as the Potato King of the world, as mentioned, was so influential that the Union Pacific Railroad built tracks to his property because of his shipping quantity. He also founded the community of Grove Center and sold small tracts of land to African Americans.
Groves utilized his wealth and influence to combat racism. During the growing season, as many as 50 laborers, both black and white, worked on his farm. He founded a Black American Community Center in Edwardsville and a golf course for black citizens, perhaps the first of its kind in the country. Groves died of a heart attack at the age of 66. His funeral, one local newspaper reported, was the largest ever in Edwardsville. He is thought to be buried in Grove Cemetery near the community center he founded. Most people may not grow up saying that they want to be a potato farmer, but many people grow up saying they would like to be a millionaire. On this channel, we'd like to show that there are other ways to be a millionaire other than being an athlete or entertainer. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yes, folks, Mr. Julius Grove proved that no matter what the condition, what situation you're in, nothing can stop you. When you put your mind to it, there's nothing that you cannot achieve. If he can do it then, we can do it now. The Black Excellence and Abundance Channel, where Black history is every day.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, thou art rich.
Thank you for tuning in. This is HRap B, host of the End of the Bench podcast, Build and Destroy, on Spreaker.com, on Build and Destroy, and Build for This Network, and on YouTube, the End of the Bench podcast, hosted by myself. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. It has been a great day so far, and I just want to, what I was talking about, the young ladies twerking. Again, man, look, we all have our own abilities to do what we want to do. You have your own mind, but I'm not the dude to tell you, hey, man, be aware of what other people think of you, because the people who making judgment on you, they're no better than you. But I just don't want my sisters out there on police cars, because in the event that one of y'all get hurt, they're going to blame it on you. They're going to, strangely enough, somebody in Minnesota got murdered, I think, Sunday by a U.S. Marshal. So stop being friends with people who don't respect you, because if those police officers respected those young ladies, treat everybody like you would treat your mother, your daughter, your sister, your aunt, uncle, or cousin, or a very close neighbor. You wouldn't want to your co-worker's daughter on the hood of your car as it rolls down the street. And if those were brothers, they are disgraceful. Young people do crazy things. Young people, hey, at the end of the day, we're all guessing. We're all guessing throughout life. We don't have no answers. We don't really have all the answers. We got some answers, but we don't have the answers. We're guessing, and we're going to make mistakes. In my opinion, that was an error in judgment, but it was an even greater error by the police officers. If one of those young ladies fall off their vehicle, what happens then if she's terminally injured, or injured for the rest of her life? So I really wish they would have done that. And the reason I brought it up is, why in the hell are we continuing to just post this tomfoolery, y'all? Look, if it was a video out there of a relative of yours using drugs, you wouldn't share that. You wouldn't share that. So don't share these videos that make our brothers and sisters look horrible. I'm just saying, man, these fights, these young ladies who breast out fighting in the street, these young brothers hitting each other with sticks and running each other over with cars, or any disparaging things, we gotta get out of the habit of saying, now look at this stupidity. If you really want to show somebody, text it to them. See, when you show it on social media and it gets 100,000 likes, you invite further tomfoolery. People love attention, myself included. If I ain't like attention, wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I would have never done a podcast. So if you got a podcast, at some point you like attention. And we all like attention. We all like acknowledgement. And a lot of us, unbeknownst to us, due to the tyranny and things of that nature, we fight for that attention in the most disparaging ways. That's why Facebook Live is so popular all of a sudden. That's why this is popular and that is popular. And that's why you wear flamboyant clothes. And that's why a lot of our young brothers got their butt out, because they want attention. But let's not get on police cars and twerk as they're moving. Let's not twerk at restaurants. Let's not do any of this stuff. Let's not fight on videos anymore. Again, is it wrong for you to have a disagreement with someone? No, it is not. It's wrong for a person to videotape that disagreement or altercation and post it so people will like them. That's when I believe is wrong. I'm not going to sit on here and say bad things about my young sisters. I think it was an error in judgment. They didn't. I know the error in judgment, again, was in the police officers who were driving around the block with 3 young ladies on the hood, windshield, and on the roof of their squad vehicle. That was poor judgment. I don't want them to get fired. A lot of people, they need to be fired. No, they need to be reprimanded, and they need to never do something that stupid again. Let's not destroy somebody's life on one poor decision. Please. Now, I want to move into a lighter segment. And I said last week I was going to start doing this. Again, man, I'm never going to go back to sports. For the people who used to enjoy my commentary on sports, I'm never going back. Nope. I don't even talk sports anymore. I'm talking these type of issues in hip hop. Now, with that being said, I am going to salute our young sister Simone Biles. She the GOAT. I remember being a younger person and thinking, damn, I wish I could do that. The parallel bars, the uneven bars, all that stuff. That was always amazing to me. And now we got a young sister in that dominate. But it's amazing how in our community, when we can score touchdowns or do something athletic, people respect us and elevate our quality. Now, what I want us to understand is this. The term dumb jock, that's not us. Because when you look at some of our greatest athletes, they're also college educated. Robert Smith, Minnesota Vikings, was at Ohio State for medical school. He wanted to be a doctor. Paul Robeson, a scholar, an actor. He was a scholar, a thespian, a singer, and a man of the world. What's my man name? Who improved the blood plasma? Can't think of his name right now. He was an athlete. He was in school to be a track star. He hurt his knee and had to go to Canada and became the guy who's famous for the blood transfusion. So don't reduce yourself to dumb jock. To quote the great Marcus Garvey, our ancestor, what Africans can do, Africans will do. Have done, Africans will do, excuse me. So these are the things I want you to understand. That, look, when we look at our young sisters and our brothers, they're not stupid. They haven't been exposed to certain things, therefore they don't know certain things. And just because they don't speak the king's English to the queen's taste does not mean that person is intelligent. Is not intelligent. All that means is he uses a different dialect than mainstream America. So don't call these people stupid, but salute to our young sister. Our brother Floyd Mayweather made a big pile of money the other night. Only thing I have an issue with is this. Floyd, you always brag about how much money you have and how you're a great businessman, and there's no denying it, and you're going to get all the money you can. But stop allowing people to pimp you as well. If you're a great businessman, you need to be doing something about getting these young brothers who are boxers the type of exposure that you created for yourself. Instead of making a spectacle of yourself and allowing somebody to punch you in the head repeatedly, Mr. Mayweather. I have nothing but love and respect for you, Floyd, but enough with allowing yourself to be pimped in this athletic arena. You got Tank, and I'm quite sure if you went around the country and put an eye on a lot of these young brothers, maybe, just maybe you and a Bob Arum, or how about this, you and Jay Prince, who was one of your mentors, and a lot of other boxers in the round. Why don't y'all open up a chain of boxing gyms throughout the United States of America and put some of these young brothers who have shaky past and background, who have a lot of anger, but they also have a lot of ability to fight and box, put them to work and potentially put them in the ring and get them out of their bad situations, and then educate them academically and vocationally, so they won't have to just get punched in their heads for a living as well. It's just something to think about, my brother. It's just something to think about. I never say anything disparaging about my brothers on my show. I don't do that. I'm not. This is not going to be a gossip column at no point. But salute to Floyd and salute to Simone. It's always good to see people do well. And that's it, man. I'm going to go to the entertainment segment, which I'm going to give respect to our newly branded ancestor. His name is Clarence Williams III. If you're a certain age, you know him as Francis L. Prince Daddy in Purple Rain. Samson Simpson from the Dave Chappelle movies. The Cop and Deep Cover. Link Hayes of Mod Squad. He was a great actor of all generations, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. He's an excellent actor. He's no longer with us. Salute and respect to our ancestor, Clarence Williams III. Nothing but respect and love to him. What I want to do now is play this video clip of our brother, Cat Williams. And then I'll expound on that shortly thereafter.
Without judgment and repercussions in cancel culture.
If you ask all of the people that didn't make it to the NBA, if you ask them if we just lowered the goal down another foot, they all tell you they'd make it. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes the out of bounds, but the out of bounds gotta be there, or you'll run up in the stands, right? Mm-hmm. So some of these things are for the benefit of everything. Nobody likes the speed limit, but it's necessary. Nobody likes the shoulder of the road, but it's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. My point is, people weren't all that extremely funny back when they could say whatever they wanted to say. At the end of the day, there's no cancel culture. Cancellation doesn't have its own culture. That was people of color. That was us policing our own culture. That was people without a voice being trashed by people just because they had a bigger name than them and more money than them and a better office than them. They could sweep them up under the rug like they didn't matter. I don't know what people we think got canceled that we wish we had back. I don't even know who are they. It's done for the reasons it's done for, and it helped who it helped. If all that's going to happen is we have to be more sensitive in the way that we talk, isn't that what we want anyway? I'm saying your job as a comedian is to please the most amount of people with your art. So if you want to offend somebody, nobody took those words away from you. Mm-hmm. dirty bitch ain't been taken away. You can say that. But don't call somebody this word when you know this affects all of these people. Don't use the R word when you really mean people on the spectrum. Don't say this word instead of saying autistic. Don't say this word instead of saying little people. Look, if these are the confines that keep you from doing the craft God put you to, then it probably ain't for you. That's all.
Thank you for continuing to tune in. That right there is something that really touched me. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. We allow outside media to shape who we like, and Cat Williams was 100% right. What is cancel culture? That has been one of the greatest threats facing people from our community and at every walk of life. Now they have a name for it. It's cancel culture, and they'll get rid of you. And you got people like Bill Maher speaking against it. The woke culture is, and like he stated, we used to just police people like, look, man, we're going to stop supporting you if you don't. And because social media is here and people listen to the television and the radio and these, what do they call them, influencers who really don't know what the hell they're talking about, they get dragged into things that don't know what the hell they're talking about. See, we always fall for the banana tailpipe. The cancel culture has nothing to do with, it has everything to do with what Cat Williams said and nothing to do with his representatives as. Like it's just a bunch of wild, ignorant people and they gonna cancel you for no reason. No, and as he stated, who's been canceled that we miss? Oh man, see, you can only be canceled when you're not doing things because you want to do them. You're doing things, as I stated, to have popularity. See, because you got people like my brother Corey Holcomb, who's on tonight. He says whatever the hell he wants to say, as loud as he wants to say it, and as long as he wants to say it. Our recently transitioned ancestor Paul Mooney did the exact same thing. Our transition brother Patrice O'Neal did the same thing. But the difference is our brother Corey, our ancestor Paul, and our ancestor Patrice O'Neal, they were funny. And guess what? They said things in all fun with a comedic twist. Another ancestor, George Carlin, he didn't get canceled. He was anti-religion. You know, this is what this dude, who I think is a suspected white supremacist, Bill Maher, attempts to present himself as George Carlin. Cancel culture only works when you want to be on TV, when you want to be in movies, when you want center stage, versus being happy with who you are and where you are and knowing that I did my very best and y'all can put who y'all want on that screen, but I'm out here killing it. That's why cancel culture is relevant, because we have a ton of people in this world who want to be loved and acknowledged because they're not getting it at home. They're not getting it in their relationships. They're not getting it in their friendships. They're not getting it anywhere. So I'm not going to like you, and that hurts them. And see, how does this tie into our community, you may be asking? It ties directly into our community. This is why we allow the power structure to mistreat us and sell us dreams. Oh, if you vote for me, I'm going to help you because you want people from the other culture to like you. Oh, see, they gonna look out for me because you know what? I got a better house and a car than HRap, and I got $12 more in the bank than HRap, so I'm better than HRap. Or I enunciate better than HRap. I would never do those things. I would never be a drug addict, but you smoke cigarettes. You say this with a glass of alcohol in your hand. So how are you different than a drug addict? Because you do that on a regular basis. You're functioning at some point. And I'm gonna have a drink in a minute. Yeah, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do. I'm just saying we have to get out of this mentality of dragging other people, standing on somebody's shoulders to look taller than them. Cancel culture. And you know what's funny? What our brother Cat Williams said was extremely profound. When you listen to that brother do his show, he said a lot of profound things. But because he had some struggles and he wasn't doing things the way everybody who's supposed to get it done does it, he was crazy. Drugs ruined his life. If drugs ruined Cat Williams' life, I need to go buy some weed after the show and have them ruin my podcast, because then I can have 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers, and I can get to galvanizing our community faster and get things cracking. Because I need to get some drugs then. See, no, everybody does not want to be on TV every week or in a movie or being overexposed, i.e. Eddie Murphy, i.e. Nas, i.e. Jay-Z, i.e. Beyonce. But guess what? When Eddie Murphy show up, everybody show up right behind him and support him. Or I'm going to make this movie about Dolomite. It became the #1 trending movie on Netflix. Or I'm going to make Coming to America 2. It became the #1 movie in America. Everybody loved it. Eddie Murphy's back. Jay-Z, oh man, he doing this and he doing that. I think Hov selling out. He drop an album, it goes platinum. 1 million people bought it. He can't be doing too bad. I bet you Hov at that Clive Davis concert in a couple weeks in New York, re-welcoming people back to New York. So, I even saw this today. Jay-Z bought Bob Kraft a Bentley for his birthday. And people were making comments about what he did and this, that, and the third. And you got the right to say what you want to say. The Bible say this. All things are admissible. Shout out to Queen Mother Karen Hunter. All things are admissible, but are they necessary for our freedom? Me personally, I don't have a problem with Jay-Z buying, him and Meek Mill buying that dude a Bentley. You know why? I got a strange feeling Jay-Z is going to be the first owner of a National Football League team. The reason I say that is Jay-Z sold half of his liquor company, and he sold 49% of Tidal. He still owns Rock Nation. That's a money grab right there. Don't be surprised if Jay-Z is the major owner of an NFL team. See, while we are judging him for whatever he's doing, he's making moves. He's making power moves. Do I agree with every one of his moves? No, I don't. But you know what? Every time I turn around, he's doing something charitable. I've hardly ever seen Jay-Z in an interview, but he was on the LeBron James show. Speaking about things that he wouldn't tell a reporter. And see, that's why these reporters are running scared. And that's why they keep creating these terms and having people like the people on the Breakfast Club have a discussion about cancel culture and it ain't real and da-da-da-da-da. And he go, but they'll be talking about somebody get canceled before the end of the week. I'm quite sure they said something about somebody getting canceled today when this came out. So when you have people, Joe Budden said it best, when you have people who working for people, they have to do what people say. It's the beauty in podcasting. We can get on here and say what the hell we want to say and say how we feel. And y'all could get on here and interact with us and engage with us and put us in the best possible situation to move forward. Athletes are picking up on it. People like myself and others, everybody else picking up on who do podcasts, and whether it be Rated for Life, whether it be Deacon Dale, whether it be #1 Chief Rocker, whether it be Knox Cheese and James Earl, whether it be Big Illinois, or whoever else got a show. We control what we say. We are not subject to others' opinions. And until, again, we take on that same moniker, we'll continue to struggle. Who watch TV the most? Black people. Who go to the movies and over-index on movies? Black people. This is not my opinion. These things were looked up. It was a brother by the name of Drew McCaskill used to work for a firm that kept track of these things. So there's another study 13 years ago that said 2 cents out of every dollar come back to the black community. They said if 10 cents came back It was at the time it was 1.4 million entrepreneurs in America. If it moved up to 10%, those 1.4 million will have to be able to hire unemployed people, and that would eradicate unemployment. So why would we not? Why would we not put 25 cents to us? Again, Black Appreciation Day, the 7th of every month, the 17th of every month, and the 27th of every month. Salute to Larry Daniel Favors. And that's how we have to do this, y'all. Before I check out, I want to give mad love to Tiffany Haddish for showing. For the last 3 years, she's been working on a project to make a movie about our ancestor, our sister, Florence Griffith Joyner, who passed away at age 38 from epileptic seizure. She's going to star in and produce this movie finally. And we need, if it's on a streaming service, we need to watch it 10,000 times each. We need to watch it at least twice each. So Tiffany can continue to open up doors with Tiffany. Tiffany Haddish is one of the greatest entertainers of our time. Not because she's the all-time funniest. Not because she's the best looking. Oh, well, she played the same role in every movie. Stop looking for reasons not to like people, because guess what? Our ancestor, my brother DMX, he played the same role too. Y'all love DMX, but hate Tiffany Haddish. Look, Tiffany Haddish is making people on that series she got on Netflix, We Ready. She make those people executive producers so they get caked up. She making it possible so when you can put executive producer on your resume, the people in Hollywood respect you a little more. She's opening doors for people. Tiffany went from sleeping in her car to producing a FloJo movie, to putting people in play like Ida Rodriguez, my brother Godfrey, and other people on her show. The transgender brother from Chicago, Flame Monroe. So she's helping out everybody. It's a white lady she had on her show. Latino. Ida Rodriguez is a Latino sister. So salute to Tiffany Haddish for doing your thing. And before I go, I want to salute some more people, and then I'm out. Send a shout out to Tariq Nasheed with his new film Buck Breaking. I want to send a shout out to Lil Kweli, Nori, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, Craig from Craig Facts, and the entire group at Craig Facts. I want to salute Heather B. I want to salute Clay Kane. I want to salute Larry Daniel Favors. I want to salute Baba Joe Madison, Dr. Greg Carr, Baba Dr. Greg Carr, and Queen Mother Karen Hunter. Every week that list gonna grow a little more. If I forget you, as my girl Gigi say, charge to my head, don't charge to my heart. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And like I always say, send a salute up to the Power Father, aka Reggie O'Shea, also known as Combat Jack. And I always use this to salute him by using his closing, which is dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white, and life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. I want y'all to understand this, man. It's time for you to do something before something is done to you. This your man HRap B, 2 fingers, 1 word, and I'm out.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.